particular broadcast, you determined, it's a question. And let me just back up a little bit. Today was the twins' 19th born day. And so just kind of taking people around to do what they needed to do, but no celebration. We out here walking this afternoon. Um, I ate did I eat two pieces? Two pieces of cake. And they weren't birthday cake either. And I shouldn't eat that. So I need to get out here and hit this corner because hit this block walking because what I don't like is losing ground. All right. The reason why I named this particular broadcast, You Determine, is because with everything that we're hearing happening in the world, and, you know, it don't look like it's looking too good, right? Especially not for those that have decided they're not going to be conditioned to be a part of the system. Well, the reason why I named it this, You Determined, is because you have to make a decision if you are willing to fight. And when I say, or when I'm saying fight, I'm not talking about a physical fight necessarily. I'm talking about the fight that is going on within you, meaning you, excuse me, going about your business. You don't get in the process or in a place of letting anything just happen. Now they telling us that these things are going to happen, prepare for war, prepare for famine, and all of that very well may be. But I'm going to say this. If people don't prepare themselves in the Most High, none of that stuff is going to matter. It's some people, they looking at everything exterior, but what about the stuff going on in the inside? Number one, it's some people that won't even get up out the bed. They lay in late. It's almost like they don't even believe that today has anything or tomorrow has anything for them. Laying in the bed. Some people can't get up from a divorce. They still pining about what already happened. What has happened, been done away with, and moved on. Still in the same place. Fight. So some people are still fighting to get past grieving, still suffering at a loss. The Father told me that my days of going to the graveyard is over. That's not to discourage anybody else because I did it for healing. But the Father says you're not looking for the dead because what is, He said it's going to rise at the days or the coming of Christ. He said the dead in Him shall rise first. I'm looking for the living. He told me to come out the graveyard. And some people still stuck in their old job. Or when I used to work there, when I was a manager, or when I was a this or that, still stuck. That's a fight to come up out of what has happened, what you may not be able to change, and your feelings and emotions still being stuck in them places. People still pining, still stuck in places that they should have been out of. I tell people all the time, change how you eat. Now is the time. Don't expect that you're gonna be in a wilderness or have to survive through them holding back food or whatever's gonna happen. And you can't get past turning down a pork chop or a hamburger or whatever, ham sandwich. The bottom line is it's a fight to live for how God and how y'all intend for us to live. It's a fight for you to get up when you feel depressed. It's a fight for you to stand in faith when you feel fear. It's a fight. This ain't easy. And so I'm thinking, if people are looking to die, then why are you talking about living? You're either going to be determined to live or you're going to fall subject to death. And the bottom line is you have to make a decision. The Bible tells us to stand, fight the good fight of faith. And the bottom line is that it's what this man believes. If I believe that all I got coming is I'm sorry, okay, people just do whatever, a death experience. That's all you looking forward to. If all you looking forward to is a famine, then that's all you got coming. I just don't understand. Like, if somebody was telling me some bad things were getting ready to happen, I don't know, I would kind of like suit up and boot up, in my opinion. That's how I would be. I'm gonna tell y'all this little story. And I know I got plenty of them. Y'all just don't even know. Let me share this with y'all. And then I'm going to pray and end this broadcast. Back in my mother's heyday, back in her heyday, I am my mother and father's first child. And so a lot of trial and error with that whole situation, right? And the first child tend to go through a whole lot more than they should have gone through. But our parents was really trying to figure it out. And by that last one, they was just like, do whatever you got to do. Just come home and be all right. But me, the first child is usually one that's got to be punished, beat up on, and a whole bunch of other things. And I'm not trying to be funny. I just see that that's the way it went. But back in my mom's heyday, there was a lady who got mad about something. I don't even know all of the story. I was young. And she told my mother that she was going to come over and basically serve my mother some hands, was going to come beat my mother up. And I remember the lady became vile in her conversation. She said something to the nature of, well, let's go this way. I'm just going to kill everybody in the household, basically. And I'll never forget this. My mother said, after the threats now I don't know how many of them she received. This is what I know. And my mother told her, you come on. And that's all I remember. And that phone call ended. But I remember, I don't know what it was. I'm usually a person that would be asleep, but the Most High woke me up as a child. I got up, maybe to go to the restroom or the kitchen, I don't know. And all I remember, my mother was sitting on a chair, prompt in the living room. The chair was posted in the big picture window in the living room, and she was holding a shotgun. Now, I know that seemed a little television and commercial, but I really believe that that was symbolic. But when it comes to you and your household, what you gonna do? You stand here letting these people talk about what they gonna do when they coming and this, that, and the other. I don't know. I know some people that's prepared. And if war is what they want, war is what it shall be. And it's like this. You got the power of the blood. You got the sword. Now, people think when the stuff is happening that it's of no effect and no use. But that's not true, family. It's everything. It's all of that. It's been keeping you all this time. Many things have happened on the earth. It's just that don't nobody really talk about it all. The 70s was terrible. Every time I turned around in the 70s, they was doing drugs and everything else back in the 70s. Y'all remember the 80s was a lot of gang banging. The 90s, I don't know what was going on in that era. It was just you know, that was during the time of Prince and his high heel boots, and folks was kind of trying to figure out what they wanted to do and where they wanted to be. But nevertheless, where I'm going with this is we've always had hard time and calamities in different eras. Never like this though. But at some point, excuse me, they don't care if they take us down the street. I thought I better move. At some point, family, a fight got to be in you. At some point, you got to make a determination to live. At some point, you're going to have to pick up and strap up. The bottom line is, y'all get where I'm going. You can't do that if you spiritually fat, meaning you got too much fat on you and you can't hear what's being said in the spirit. You won't turn down your plate. You won't change the way you eat. The stuff that they got in the food is dumbing us down. You don't believe it though, but I keep posting stuff that's making it true. I didn't even know half the stuff I'm posting is, you know, the things that they're doing. I'm saying to you, I don't know how anybody can hear these things and all they want to do is go run and hide. I'm hearing these things, and to me, it seems like it's a time of preparation. Get it together. Hallelujah. Get it together. The spiritual fight is the big one. What are you doing? Do you ever feel compelled to just begin to pray? Do you feel compelled to warfare when you're in the car? Do you feel compelled to speak out and decree and declare when you're driving down the street or the highway? What about when you're in your city? See, I don't care who hear about the gospel. The bottom line is we need to be openly displaying what it is that we believe. We have gotten to the point we just dumbed down in every sense of the way, running and hiding and fearful. People posting all kinds of stuff. For what? We already knew what they was gonna do. They already told us. Ain't no secret. And who told us first? The Most High. It's been in Revelations. It's been said. What are we in shock about? I keep telling people, get up. Start getting your health together so you can withstand. So if they tell you like they doing over there in them countries that you can only get 15 items and you got to try to figure out how to stretch that for however long till they let people back in the grocery store again, you'll be ready. I'm not really looking forward to that. And I'm not getting ready to say that that's going to be my portion. But if it happens to be, I want to be ready that I'm surviving. Because I like determined in my heart that I'm going to be a part of the remnant. I'm not going to sit back and get fat and just keep eating and walking around. Now, when I say eat, I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about participating in this worldly, you know, these worldly pleasures. I'm not going to keep talking about my kids over in college and they doing this and we winning and, I got this business. I see some people on Facebook and they say they ministers. I'm in shock. I'm like, for real? Did you not read the book? Do you not see or perceive the error or the times? That tells me there's a lot of people still asleep. They still trying to live up to some kind of standard in this world. You can tell the people they ain't never had nothing because all they want to do is show the little that they have or what they finally think they're getting. And it's not going to be worth anything. Eventually, this will collapse. So all they gain, did it profit them anything? If they gained it all and then they lose their soul. I don't get it. We talking about, oh, I got this now. I'm winning here. I was in shock. And I'm going to say it. Some of my relatives, we've been raised in the church. We know all about it. And then you turn around and mention the ancestors, you in trouble. The bottom line, because you know better. Yep, I said it. That's a relative. You'll be all right. But you need to get that up off your page. You ain't got no business giving no credit to dead things because the dead didn't give it to you. Now, moving on from that, I'm really shocked at the things that I see people posting and doing. I'm in shock. I'm like, I thought they was believers. But I'm learning. A lot of people say they something, and they really not of that. None of it. They just like the Bible said. They got an appearance, but they don't have no power. They just in the thing, running off at the mouth, and their heart don't demonstrate it. We can't be caught up. We all about our clothes and our shoes. Eventually, when these armies march in, what you gonna do with all that stuff? Nothing. It's going to be laying in the street or in abandoned houses. You better hope that the Most High return before these things of Yahshua take us up out of here. And I ain't talking about a rapture. If you believe in a rapture, that's on you. But I read that there was going to be an Exodus. Now, if he does not come and remove us before time, then I have to make the determination to keep pressing and pray that I'm a part of the remnant. And if not, my prayer is that I can endure all the way to the end, that I don't fold and become well, I'm marked by this system, that I don't bow down to any unclean spirit, that I don't bow down to any false gods. I'm seeing people with your idols. You better get that stuff away. You're offering up your kids. Somebody posted today, yeah, I'ma say it, I'm in shock. Somebody I went to school with talking about that if you don't get the snake bite, oh, if you don't get the snake bite, then you shouldn't get a hospital bed if you get sick. Well, let me think about that. Who has ever denied anybody anything? So maybe the taxes that he cheated on, should he receive tax money? I'm just saying. For anything he wrote down for his kids for college, and if it wasn't true, and if he got help, but you didn't do something else to help somebody else or pay back the taxpayers, I don't know. It's a whole bunch of stipulations we could pull up in here, and we could say, well, you don't deserve this. That's his sins. Should they deserve the punishment that he's supposed to get? Who is the judge to say what somebody should or should not do? If you line up, you lined up. That's on you. But some of us choose different. And that should be all that's said. Enough of trying to enslave one another. This is no different than what was happening in the time of slavery. Our own, offering up one another. Somebody trying to get something more than the next. When did we start turning in each other? When did we start tearing down one another? Why are we doing this when we clearly know that the system has never had our backs? But it's always a few that think that if they say something and tap dance harder than most, they'll get something else. But from what I hear, they still refer to us as those N words, meaning no matter what you think you're doing, you still not winning. Not in a system. I don't care how much they pretend or whomever that they accept you. The system is not about that. And if you're a believer, yeah, you're gonna have some hardship. Yes, you will. You're a non-believer. I mean, hey, your hardship come later, and it's gonna last an eternity. I think I'll take the hardship right here. Where are you going? I'm going to the grocery store. So, nevertheless, family, I call some people out and they'll know who they are and what they said. But it don't matter. I'd rather say something that people's souls, I mean, just some kind of way they be warned. Today I was driving from Chicago and my twins were asleep. And one of them had just been giving me such the hardest of time. And there she was in the car because it was her birthday. So she wanted to get out. So she was willing to, what's the word I'm looking for? Soften herself, walk in some sort of humility, but it might have been false humility. Nevertheless, there she was in my car. They fell asleep, and I began to pray. I went into warfare. First, it was worship, and I wasn't even warfaring. I was in worship, and the Father took it over to warfare and then back to worship. I'm believing the Father that there was something deposited in her spirit. It was deposited. Whether I saw it physically or not, I trust the Most High to change her life because she needed. I want to be so sensitive to the Most High Spirit, super sensitive, that I don't care who's offended, that I don't care how people look at me, that I don't care if they think I'm crazy because I burned those Converse gym shoes. I just want to be pleasing to Him. I just want to do what He say to do. I want to live right. The bottom line is, family, time is running out. The clock is ticking. We are almost at the end of an age. I pray that we would be alert and make a decision to fight. Fight. Don't lay down somewhere and don't run and don't hide. To me, these are exciting times. No, I don't like the stuff that I'm hearing. Hey, Miss Toya, blessings, woman of God, stuff I'm hearing. But if I don't hear it, I don't see it. I don't hear it. I don't see it. I don't know it. Hear no evil. See no evil. Speak none. And it's like this. All I hear is whatever the Most High chooses to share. And that's how it worked for me. Turn these TVs and things off because how do you know that what's going on for us? Keep that in mind. All right. And it's going to be some that going to go through it.